Desire is a burning fire. What are you desiring in your life? And the fun thing is, because I've used this canvas in coaching a lot of people, mostly, of course, due to my history in large corporate, where people have been responsible for a lot of people. And when you ask them what is their desire and what are they after, most of us don't have an answer to this. So it's very difficult for a lot of people to get into this. And that's why I want to have it early on for you, that you start thinking about this. And this canvas works like this. So it's a staircase. There are things which help you getting up that staircase, which help you towards the desire you have, which is on the upper left corner. And then there are things which drag you down the staircase, which are the negative behaviors. And I call that behaviors because it's often easier for you to understand going into that. So let me give you an example. So if we talk about desire, and we just take a couple of things. I want to be independent when I'm 40. If we just take this, some of you are 25 years old, and independent in this case could mean I want to cover my cost. I don't want to work for someone else. I want to be free. I want to have a family. I want to have X amount of money at a certain time. So there are different desires which you can put into that box, because the group of desires will help you to guide you to get there. And if you have understood what your desire is, and sometimes that requires you need to go deeper into yourself, questioning yourself, what are my true desires? Is it getting a car? Is it getting $1 million? Is it doing this? Is it doing that? You need to find this out for yourself. For me, if we take my example, it's really about I want to be independent. I want to create impact in this world. So that's a bit my desire. But this is just to get you a little bit into this. And then, of course, there are positive behaviors that help you to reach this. So if you want to be independent in age 40, and one of the parts is you want to run your own business. So how do you build behaviors and habits that help you? And that can be, I get up at 6 a.m. and write my diary. This can be easy things like this. And that sometimes sounds weird, but for example, in Barcelona, I gave the example that I do this since a couple of years. I write down every day, very early in the morning, what are my key goals in my life? And how do I contribute today to get towards my key goals? We will go later into that exercise as well. So if I just know I do this every day, I know what my focus is, which also means that everything else that is not helping me to reach that is between me and my desire. So another thing might be reach out to 10 people per day. And that can be, how do I stay connected to good friends from childhood? How do I stay connected to family members? How do I get the sales engine rolling? Depending on what your desire is, there are things that help you to get closer and there are things that don't. So this gives you a little bit an example of that. And if we just move that down here, let's make it red. And that can be stay in bed until 9. And that's just the example to getting up at 6. Of course, there are people who love to stay long in bed. I'm just an early bird, so that doesn't work for me. But there are people who are just saying, nah, I'm not interested. I'm just watching Netflix every day, 2 hours. And these 2 hours, maybe you could use in reading a book, reading an article, connect to a good friend, helping someone, helping yourself, getting fit, whatever the things are. There are different things that help different people depending on what your desire is. I already said, try to stay fit. Let's do another one. Try to please people, especially for young people, but as well for people that are already a little more senior. I have had people who are 50 plus who try to please their parents still. And of course, parents and family members sometimes have a completely different desire and completely different perspective in life. So That's then a limiting factor for you and a limiting behavior if you always try to please them. So you need to find out what are your positive things, what are your negative things, and how do you keep on track stepping up the staircase towards your desire.